Hey ho, and what do you know, to the people of YouTube, it is me, Alex Hale, aka the Halestorm, here for Halestorm Sports. And we gotta do this because today is the big day, because baseball is back. Now, I meant to get this up, but I've had some stuff I've been doing the past few days, so we're gonna do this now. We got 6 parts for you, actually 7, because we gotta do playoffs, one for each division for you. So let's get right into it right now, because we're going to start with the AL East and my predictions there. So let's get right into it. So let's see. You want to know what? We're going to start from the bottom up, because we just don't want to spoil who we think is going to win. We're going to start from the bottom up. And unfortunately, the first team I'm going to mention, sorry Baltimore, in 5th place, I think it's going to be Baltimore Orioles. But here's what I think about the Orioles. I actually like them as a hitting team. As a pitcher, I don't want to throw them. I mean, you got Mark Reynolds, you got Derek Lee, you got Vlad Guerrero, Nick Markakis, Luke Scott. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, you actually have a potential scary lineup if everyone plays to their potential. Only problem is, you got no pitching staff and no bullpen. Your only pitchers are Jeremy Guthrie and Brian Matusz. If I said his name wrong, I'm sorry. And you got a great coach too, which even amazes me that he even goes out there and he says that, oh yeah, we got Kevin Gregg who saved 30 games last year, and we're going to have him share closer roles with someone else. Hello? What are you thinking? You have to set up the closer to set up every single role that the bullpen needs. And you're telling us that you can't decide on a closer? Well, there's your downfall. You don't have a pitching staff, you don't have a bullpen. You could put up 5 runs a game, but you're going to give up 7. So, I'm sorry, Baltimore fans, until you can get a pitching staff, which maybe you could by the halfway point. I mean, I really think a certain team up in the Northwest is going to do pretty bad in their division. And they got a pitcher that might be traded, but I'm going to talk about more of that later. So, but they're big ads this offseason. Mark Reynolds, Derek Lee, I've all said those guys. Big losses, not really that bad. I mean, Kevin Millwood, Ty Wingington. So, Ty Wingington, though, is decently bad because he can play almost anywhere. And he's a good hitter. So, let's move on to the 4th place team. And I'm going to shock some people here. And I'm going to pick the Tampa Bay Rays. And it's only... And the sad thing is, this is the sad thing about having a small market team. Because you could only imagine what the Rays would have had if they would have kept Rafael Soriano and Carl Crawford. They would have been pretty scary the next few years. But, again, they couldn't get them. And now we're going to have to find out how good that farm system is. And it starts from the pitching staff with David Price, who had a breakout year, who I think is going to be a star, maybe even a Cy Young candidate if everything falls right. Behind him, you got James Shields. He's been nothing but consistent for them. Jeff Neiman, who's been good. Wade Davis has shown potential. And a pitcher I think is going to be the key for them, Jeremy Hellickson. I've heard so much about him. I've seen his pitching. Unbelievable. I like this kid a lot. I hope they're starting him. I mean, I haven't gotten full official word about their starting rotation, but I'm assuming he's there. So I think that'd be a phenomenal pitching staff for a young core. Bullpen, though, is a problem. You lost your closer, but I do like J.P. Howell. I saw him back in 08. I saw him in 09. I was like, I really like this guy. He's got some nice stuff. Good lefty. He could actually be a closer. And I really think this is his time to prove that he is a closer. And then you got the offense. What are you going to do without Carl Crawford? Well, exit Carl Crawford, enter the young and talented Desmond Jennings, who's like Carl Crawford, a lot of experts say, and like how I've seen him play. I actually see Carl Crawford in him. So maybe they're not losing Carl Crawford. Maybe they're just getting the next one, a younger version. To go with that, I mean, you got a nice outfield, but everything starts with Evan Longoria. He's got to be the MVP. if they're going to have any shot, he's got to be the MVP of this team. Though adding Manny Ramirez and Johnny Damon helps, those guys may not help them too much. So we'll find out. Again, the big ads, Ramirez and Damon, big losses. They had a lot of them. Jason Bartlett, Carl Crawford, Rafael Soriano, Carlos Pena, Matt Garza, Joaquin Benoit, Chad Qualls. 7 guys, I just said. That's a pretty harsh offseason. Now let's go to my third place team, which I really, really, really considered them for second place because I really like them. And that's the Toronto Blue Jays. I am going to go as far as saying that these guys are going to be my pick to be the Tampa Bay Rays breakout type team. They have a young pitching staff led by Ricky Romero. You got Kyle Drabek in there. I mean, you've got some nice guys in there. Brandon Morrow, too, who had a 17 strikeout game last year. You've got a nice young pitching staff. And yeah, you did lose your closer, but you do have a solid bullpen still because they got some nice bullpen arms there as well. I really do like the pitching there, and I think that's their strong point. And with John Farrell there, I think he's only going to help that. The big question is what's going to happen with the offense. Is Jose Bautista going to hit 40 homers at least? Who's going to be the catcher? Who on the team is going to step up? That's the big question. Big ads on this team: Juan Rivera, Rajay Davis, who they got from Oakland, nice speed guy, Edwin Encarnacion. Big losses: John Buck, Sean Markham, who could really help, and Kevin Gray. And now let's go to my second place team because I know we're running a little bit close on time. I hate the fact that I can only make these 10 minutes. So, the New York Yankees are my second place team. Yeah, they had a promising offseason, then all of a sudden went down the toilet when Cliff Lee decided to go to Philly, and Carl Crawford went to the arch rival Red Sox team. As everybody has said, and I'll even add myself in it, it all starts with the pitching staff. Who's going to step up? Is it going to be Cologne? Is it going to be Millwood, who are big ads? And are they going to add someone? I really don't know. Their bullpen, dominant. If they can get to the 7th, 8th inning with the lead, it's over. Another problem, they're hitting. Their entire infield except for Robinson Cano, over 30, and stuff like that. I mean, they got a lot of question marks in my eyes that really make me doubt this team. I mean, losing Andy Pettit, Javier Vasquez was big. I do like Russell Martin, though. That's what I'll say here. Now, I got to get to the last one, which obviously you know who it is. The Boston Red Sox. The Sox. With adding Carl Crawford and Adrian Gonzalez, they are a tough lineup. You add them with Dave Ortiz, Kevin Youkilis, J.D. Drew. They are going to be tough. They are going to be tough. You look on the other side, pitching staff, Dice K look great. You got Lester and Buchholz. And if Lackey and Beckett can show up and rebound, oh man, that staff is going to be great. The key is Jonathan Papelbon. Will he rebound? That's the big question there in Boston. And also, my big sleeper move is I think Jared Saltalamacchia is going to have a breakout year. Yeah, Jared Saltalamacchia. Watch out for him. So, yeah, that's the end of part 1 with the AL East. Stay tuned because next is the AL Central that will include my Cleveland Indians.